Hi, I'd like to welcome you to Bio 168, Anatomy and Physiology, Part 1. This is an online asynchronous course. My name is Mr. Thomas. I'll be your instructor for the semester. And in the video, I'd like to just go over a few things to try to help you be successful in the class and kind of help you get started in the semester. And so first of all, I'm going to share the screen that I'm looking at so that you'll be able to see exactly what I'm going to go over. What I did is to open up the Blackboard page. Many of you may already be familiar with using Blackboard, but just in case you're not, I want to go over a few things here, kind of help you get started in the class. So the first thing you'll see when you log in is the announcements page. This is where I will post announcements, usually 2, maybe 3 times a week, to try to give you some updates along the way. So it's very important to kind of start here looking at the announcements. We're going to go over these things that are listed here in this first announcement kind of individually, one by one. So we'll go over these shortly. One thing to note is that every time I post an announcement in Blackboard, it will automatically go to your student JCC email. So make sure that you have access to your student email. You need to be using that to communicate with your instructors on campus, and you'll be receiving important information from me and then also other people on campus. And so just kind of briefly go over a few things. I've listed out 5 main things to kind of get you started this very first week that you need to be aware of. Number 1, you need to go over the syllabus. I'm going to go over that with you shortly. Number 2, you need to complete what's called the enrollment verification quiz. This is basically your first attendance for the course. It only takes maybe 5 minutes to go through. There's a very simple quiz. I'll show you where that's at. It needs to be completed by Thursday, August 26th. It does count for your attendance, and you may be dropped from the course if you do not complete this quiz. You also need to get the required materials, and that includes an anatomy and physiology kit. It's through a company called eScience. You can get the kit at the JCC bookstore. They may have a few kits in stock, but most likely they're going to sell you an access code, a number. And then you'll go to this website, esciencelabs.com, and register your access code there. Give them your mailing address, and they will mail the kit to your house. And so you need to do this on time. It does take maybe about a week to 10 days to receive that kit. We're going to be using a software program, a publisher program known as Mastering AMP. This is through the publisher Pearson. And so you need to be able to access your assignments. And so that's another thing that you'll need to acquire from day one. You need to get access through this. You can purchase the access code, again, through the JCC bookstore there, and that will allow you to complete any quizzes we have, the homework assignments, the exams, any of that. The access code also includes an ebook, an e-text. And so what that means is if you don't want to purchase the hard copy textbook, that's okay, because if you're comfortable using the ebook, it is located inside of Mastering. I'll show you where the assignment schedule is. This is basically like a pacing guide, and it includes all of the assignments, their due dates for the class. And so anyway, let's kind of go through a few things here in the main menu. You see the next link is that enrollment verification quiz. When you click on this, you can start the quiz. It should only take 5 to 10 minutes to go through that, but please do that day 1. I need you to do that the first thing so that you can be counted present for the course. Here's the introduction video. The course information, this link here has information about the class, the syllabus. My contact information is here. This is my instructor block here. And so what's listed here is my email address. This is the best way to contact me. If you've got a quick question, send me an email, and I'll try to get to your email that very same day and get you a response. I do have an office on campus. That's Health F110E. It's in the health building, and my phone number to my office is located there as well. I do have office hours both on campus and virtual. And so these are listed here for you. Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, I have what are called drop-in hours, campus office hours, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 1 to 2 in my office. And then also if you wanted a virtual office, if you wanted to go to Zoom and meet that way, that works as well. And so those designated times are Wednesday and Thursday from 12 to 1. If you need an office visit some other time, send me an email, and it may be that I will be able to help you out there as well. I'm generally not on campus on Fridays, and so that's not a really good day to have a meeting, but I can probably work you in sometime throughout the rest of the week. All right, so let me back up, and we will take a look at the syllabus, which is here. The syllabus gives you important information on the expectations of the class, how you're going to be graded, and this is Bio 168 again. It's a 4-credit-hour class, and the last day to withdraw from the class without any kind of grade penalty is November the 3rd. I will remind you about this a little later in the semester. This is after fall break, so I'll remind you about this a little later in the semester to kind of give you more information about that. But if you feel like you're not going to be successful in the class based on attendance or based on your grade in the class, it may be better to withdraw from the course and not get a grade penalty than to either get a WF or actually get a failing grade. So again, that's a little ways off. If you have any questions about that, please let me know. Again, my contact information is here. By the way, here is the link to the virtual office hours, and so this is going to be through Zoom. And so all you have to do is either hit the link here or copy and paste it and go to the Zoom link for a virtual meeting. The course description is next. This is basically a 2-part course. This is Bio 168 Part 1, and we're going to cover some main topics, including body organization, homeostasis. We'll talk a little bit about cells and tissues, and then we'll start a systematic approach that goes through the human body systems. There are 11 body systems, and so we'll cover the first 4 in 168. That means 169, when you pick up there, you'll cover the remaining 7 body systems. Course format is listed next. Of course, this is asynchronous online, 100% online, which means there's no designated meeting times. Now, there will be due dates for certain assignments, including your tests, your exams, and things like that, but there's no designated lecture times. All of the lectures will be pre-recorded and posted to Blackboard. I'm going to let you go over the student learning outcomes. These are specific to various health programs, and so if you're in a particular health-related field or that's what you're thinking about, these are some areas that you should try to concentrate on as we go through the class. The textbook information is next, and the textbook that will be used is called Human Anatomy and Physiology. It's a Pearson textbook, the 2nd edition. Again, if you decide not to get the hard copy book, that's fine. The Pearson Access does give you the ebook, which is perfectly fine to use. And I can show you a little later where you can purchase a loose leaf edition if you would like to have some kind of hard copy, but in loose leaf format. The lab kit, again, is available from the bookstore, and that's a customized kit number 5030. You do need a digital camera, so webcam on your computer or camera phone or something like that to take some pictures and videos. So we will be recording some videos of some of the lab activities and an introduction type video in the class, and so that will be critical to have ability to do that. This just gives you a brief overview of the main topics that we'll cover. We'll begin starting with anatomical terminology. We'll move into a little bit of chemistry, a little bit of cell biology, and then tissues. Then we'll start our systematic approach, looking first at the integumentary system, moving to skeletal, and then muscles, and then we'll finish with a relatively large unit on the nervous system. Evaluation methods. This is how you will be graded. And so this course is based on a 10-point grading scale. Make sure you get everything submitted and completed on time, or before the due date is even better. I try to open up several weeks of activities early so that students can actually work ahead at their own pace. But you need to make sure that you get your assignments completed on time, because late assignments will not be accepted. And so make sure you get things completed on time. There are no extra credit assignments or activities, so if you miss an assignment, you get a 0 for that. So it's very important to complete your assignments on time. That includes your exams. There are no makeup exams. And so you need to make sure you complete those by the due date. The due dates, again, are listed in the pacing schedule, the pacing guide, and I will remind you about due dates as those assignments are due. Unit exams, there will be 4 unit exams. Each one's 100 points each. We'll have one final exam at the end of the course. The final exam is part cumulative and part new information. And so the last few chapters that we'll cover will be covered there, plus a little bit from the previous chapters. The lab assignments, I've divided the lab assignments into 12 main activities over the course of the semester. Some of the lab assignments you'll see are kind of split into weeks, but each main lab assignment will be worth 20 points. Some of the lab assignments will require either pictures or a video, and you will not receive full credit if you do not have that type of documentation. We'll also be using something called dynamic study modules. These are designed to help you go through the chapter, read through the chapter. These are questions. It's kind of like a flashcard-based system. They're going to ask you very low-level type questions, simple type questions, kind of see, do you understand the vocabulary? Do you understand these concepts? And so if you're reading the text, going over the notes, you should be able to answer these fairly quickly as you go over them. The nice thing about the dynamic study modules is that if you miss a question, you're not penalized because you get a chance to repeat it. And so you can go back, you'll be basically graded on completion of the assignment. Once you have completed all of the questions in the assignment, you'll get your full credit. Okay, you'll get your full credit. And so for this course, there are 15 chapters. Each chapter is going to have 2 of these modules assigned, so there'll be a total of 30 of these. Each one only counts 2.5 points, so they're very low stake type of assignments, but they do add up. And so the total points over all of these would be 75 points. As long as you complete these by the due date, you'll receive full credit. The homework assignments are a little bit different because these are set up more or less like a quiz. There are 15 of these. What I would suggest doing is, reading your text, watching the videos, making some notes, going over the PowerPoint notes, completing the dynamic study modules, and then doing the homework assignment because it's going to test you on your actual knowledge. Did you understand the concepts? And so this will be graded for accuracy. You only have one attempt. It's not timed. You can take as much time as you need, but there's only one attempt. So you do need to study, prepare for the homework assignment. A little bit more points here. Each homework assignment is worth 10 points. And so that's a total, there's 15 of these, so that's a total of 150 points in the class. So you probably want to wait until towards the end of that unit or the end of that chapter to complete that homework assignment. But it does need to be completed by the defined due date. We'll do some discussion boards. We don't have discussion boards each week like some classes do. I think I have 5 discussion boards throughout the semester. And so the main thing here is to read the direction carefully. I require that you have a word count limit. You need to have at least 100 to 150 words, and then that you respond to at least one of your classmates' response. And that response should be, again, about 100 to 150 words. As long as you complete the assignment in that way, you'll receive full credit for that. What I did to try to help you out, you may want to print this page at some point, but this kind of gives you a little table to show you the breakdown of each assignment. Again, there's 4 unit exams. Each one, everything's based on a point system rather than a percentage system. And so I'm going to go over that now. There's 4 unit exams. Each one's 100 points. That's 400 points in the class. One final exam, that's 100 points. That's 100 points total in the class. 12 lab assignments, they're 20 points. Dynamic study modules, there's 30 for 2.5. Chapter homework's 15, you kind of see the idea. Discussion boards, there's 5 of these. Each one will count 7 points. If I've done the math correctly, all of that is listed out here for total points. Everything adds up to 1,000 points in the class. So the question is, how do you get an A in the class? Well, you have to have at least 900 points to earn an A in the class. 800 to 899, that gets you a B in the class. 700 points, it doesn't matter where those points are coming from, but if you only get 700 or up to 799, then you receive a C in the class. A D in the class is 600 to 699. Anything less than 500 anything less than 600 is considered to be an F in the class. I've posted here again that no late assignments will be accepted. And so just kind of keep that in mind as you are completing assignments. What that means is you shouldn't wait to the last minute to complete an assignment. What that means is don't procrastinate. Don't wait until the day that it's due to decide you needed to take that exam or do the homework, because I've been working with students long enough to realize that that's when your computer is going to malfunction. That's when something's going to come up that you don't have time to complete the assignment. So make sure, if at all possible, I would suggest taking the assignment, the exam, completing the homework or whatever a day early, so that if something does happen and your computer crashes or you have an emergency situation, then you're not penalized. So make sure you get your assignments completed ahead of time, if at all possible. And like I said, I'll try to have these assignments open a week or two in advance, so that you've got up to 2 weeks, maybe even more, to complete some of these assignments. The attendance policy is listed here. And so just like a seated class, I take an attendance for all of the assignments that you complete. And so your first assignment, of course, is to complete that enrollment verification quiz. That has to be completed by August the 26th. And so the main attendance policy is listed here. If a student misses more than 2 what I consider total weeks in the class, in other words, you don't do anything in the class for 2 weeks, then that's grounds for you being dropped from the course, and you'll receive a WF for the course. If you don't complete any assignment in 2 weeks, you'll be dropped from the course and you get a failing grade. Now, it could be in any combination. So in other words, if you miss 2 weeks, then that means you're going to miss 2 lectures and you'll miss 2 labs. You'll be dropped. Let's say you don't do any of the labs. All right, you don't do any of the labs, and so you miss 4 lecture weeks total. Then that's being dropped. Then you'll be dropped for that. Let's say reverse, you do all of the lecture assignments, but you don't do, you do all of the lab assignments, but you don't do any of the lecture assignments. So you're gonna still be dropped for that. So any combination of completing a total of 2 weeks in the course, you can be dropped. So if you feel like you're not going to be able to complete the assignments on time and you're not going to be able to do something for 2 weeks, again, it may be best to go ahead and withdraw from the class. Hopefully you won't have to, but you may have to withdraw from the class so that you don't receive a WF. You don't want this, because this will affect your GPA and it could affect your financial aid. If you have any questions about the attendance policy, then please contact me. Don't wait until after you miss the exam and tell me that you had some type of activity in SGA or some other thing that's going on student-wise, and you need to take the exam. You don't need to contact me after the fact. Please let me know ahead of time that there may be something I can help you with. All right, student concerns. Basically, this is if you have any questions, please. I'm your first point of contact. I'm the instructor, so please send me an email, give me a call. Again, the best way to contact me is through email. And if I can't answer your question to your satisfaction, then you can go to the department chair, or if he can't answer your question satisfactorily, then you can go to the AVP, Dawn Dixon. There's some general policies listed here as well, and so you can kind of read over these. First policy is academic integrity. There are consequences if you break some of these academic integrity things, such as cheating. And so make sure you read that. Confidentiality policy, that means your grades, your attendance records are your business only. I can't provide anything about you to anybody else unless you give that person permission to do so. And that's perfectly fine, but you have to fill out a form to give someone access to your information. Disability services, if this applies to you, then you need to file the appropriate paperwork with the accessibility office here on campus, and they will be able to instruct me on how I can help you. Non-discrimination, Title IX, sexual misconduct, none of these things. We don't discriminate based on any of these types of things here. That includes basis of age, race, color, sex, national origin, disability, religion, creed, military, veteran status, genetic information, any other characteristic protected under applicable federal or state law. And so please be aware of that. Campus and security information is here. And so if there's some type of campus problem, they always post that to the website, or if the campus has to close for whatever reason, they'll post that to the website as well. And then minors on campus, make sure that if you are on campus, if you're going to the library, you're coming to a meeting, make sure you take care of your children. Cell phones for seated and hybrid classes, you can kind of read that. The student technical and academic resources, there's a link at the top to this. If you have a question about Blackboard or your email address or something like that, these are the people that you need to contact. All right, so that is a relatively quick overview of the syllabus. I know that it is in Word format here, so if you wanted to print out part of this, then you certainly can. And so you just click on that link. It's always going to be here under course information. At any time, if you have a question, please contact me. I'll be glad to help you. We've already covered the textbook information. Here is the student assignment schedule. It's listed here. It's a PDF format. If you need another format to open, just let me know. But basically, this is a breakdown. I would suggest printing this out, putting this in your notebook. It's a breakdown of what chapter we're going to be covering and the due dates. And I've tried to make most of the due dates on Sundays. But you can complete these ahead of time. It doesn't mean you have to wait till Sunday to complete it. You complete these ahead of time. Most of the due dates on Sundays, except for the exams. Exams I've kind of posted throughout, depending on what best it falls on. So for example, the first exam is on a Thursday night, but what I'll do is I'll open that up several days ahead of time. So if you wanted to work on it Monday night or Tuesday night or Wednesday night, whatever, that's fine. So there's your assignment schedule. Now, all of the course learning information is under learning modules. So let's take a look there. The first thing I've got is an introduction and getting started block. So this is where you need to kind of start the first day. Here's those kind of the same type of thing that I put in that first announcement. I've also got another link to the enrollment verification quiz. Either link will work, so you can click on either one. If you need help with the mastering program, you need to register for that. And so here's a document here that helps you kind of get started with using mastering. It's pretty easy to kind of get started. You click on an assignment somewhere. I'll show you the assignments. Click on an assignment. It's going to ask you the first time to create an account, put in a username, email address, and to use your access code to get started. They do have I think it's 2-week free trial. So if you don't have your materials on day one, you can actually start on your assignments day one by clicking on the free trial. But once that free trial is up, that's it. You'll definitely have to purchase the access code after that. The other thing that we're going to do is to record videos. And so we need some way to record a video and then share it with your instructor. And so one way to do that is to have a YouTube account. Many of you may already have a YouTube channel or YouTube account. One thing you can do when you're recording your video, record it, post it to YouTube. You can click it as either private, or you can do like, not shared, and that's perfectly fine. But then what you'll do is share the link with me, and then I will grade your video, and then once it's graded, you can delete it. If you want to use a sharing file service, if you don't want to put it on YouTube, that's okay. You can use a sharing file service. The campus has Microsoft 365, and so you can create a OneDrive folder, put in your video there, and then share me that link, and that works fine as well. Sometimes I use Google Drive, and so if you want to use a Google Drive folder, that's fine too. Put your video there, send me the link. As long as I can see your video, that's what I need to see. So that's your introduction. Once you are ready to get started with the course, everything's going to be in these chapter folders. And so I have chapter 1 here folder listed for you, Introduction to Anatomy and Physiology. I've listed the due date for these things, which is going to be Sunday, August the 22nd. When you click on it, I've got a block that will have your assignments. So you need to read each one carefully. This is how you're going to be graded on this particular module. And so you need to read chapter 1. You need to watch the lecture videos. You need to complete the dynamic study modules for the chapter. You need to complete the homework assignment, and you need to complete discussion board 1. All of these things will be due by August 22nd. And everything that you need should be here in this folder. So as we scroll down, I have some notes here. PowerPoint notes are here. I have a lecture video that I've recorded and I've posted here. Sometimes I have additional videos. Most of the time I'll have a lecture video that I record, and then sometimes I'll have some videos that I found in YouTube or some other source that will also give you some additional information. And so that's what this is. The discussion board link and directions are listed down here. So you would click the link here and create your discussion board. This first one is going to be for you to record a video of yourself, just kind of introducing you to the class and then posting that link. And then I've got your assignments here. The Chapter 1 Dynamic Study module is listed here in the Chapter 1 homework. These are links directly to Pearson. Now, I know this video is getting kind of long. I want to just quickly go over a few things here. There is an exam link here. That's where I will post your exams. Whenever it's time for exams, they will go there. And then one of the last things I want to show you here, the mastering links. You click on this. I've just got a few links to some things in mastering that are listed here for you. Here's a welcoming type page. You can look at that. If you wanted to go to and see all of your mastering assignments, you could click here. All right. If you wanted to see the homework assignment, your grade book in mastering, you could click here. The Pearson e-text, this is a direct link to your ebook. And so you can click that, and it'll take it a few seconds to load up there, but I'll let that kind of load. It's going to bring up your ebook. And again, if you're comfortable reading through the ebook, then you won't need to actually purchase a hard copy textbook, and that's fine. And so here is your ebook. Looks like I was already looking at chapter 11. And so it's everything that you'll need. It's got the diagrams in it. And so you can click the pages here, turn the page, or you can use the menu over here to jump to a particular chapter. The other thing I want to show you, this is very helpful, is the study area. So this has a lot of resources that are embedded in mastering to kind of help you study and prepare for the chapter. Again, here's a link to the e-text, which is there. Same link that I just showed you there. There's some practice quizzes and practice tests that are here. And so you can click on one of these and you can choose which chapter you want to look at. And it'll give you a kind of a question, 10 question quiz or 15 question quiz or so. And then you can test yourself to see how well you know the information in that chapter. It also has some other videos that you can work with. It also has, I want to show you when you click on the e-text button, it gives you here an option to purchase a loose leaf edition of the textbook. So maybe you don't want the big hard copy that the bookstore sells, but you would like to have a hard copy to flip through and actually look. You can actually purchase a loose leaf color copy of the textbook. It's the same type of textbook that's in the bookstore, except that it's unbound. It doesn't have the hard cover. It's already been punched, three-hole punched for you. If you want to put it in a binder, you can do that. And so you can click here to purchase it. I think I'm going to check on the price. I think it's like $40, maybe $45. Yep, so it's $45. And just remember, this textbook covers both 168 and 169. So that's an option if you would like to have a loose leaf edition. So that was under the e-text. There's also some study notes and things inside of here. So you've got a lot of different resources that you can look at to kind of help you prepare for the test. I would definitely use the ebook. I would definitely use the practice tests that are listed here. You can study by chapter. That kind of gives you a little quick outline. it takes you like hyperlinks to the section and gives you a little short quiz on each section. So I think that gives you a little brief overview. Here's your grade section. If you're not familiar with Blackboard, there's where you're going to click on My Grades. And so you would click there. Here's your email link. And so those are the main things here in Blackboard that hopefully will help you out. So again, I'm very happy that you're signed up for Bio 168. I'm looking forward to working with you. Send me an email if you have questions. I'll be communicating a lot of information through the announcements, through email. But if you have questions, please let me know, and I'll be glad to help you out. Thanks, and have a great semester.